You're listening now to the Real Estate Lab with Bayut. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Real Estate Labs with Bayut.com. As we're welcoming in a new year, it would be great to have an idea of what the roadmap looks like from a professional within the industry. Today, I'm very delighted to welcome the founder and CEO of Capitale, Mr. Kunal. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you very much for hosting me out here.
Just before we get into the subject matter or the topic of today's discussion, for the end users who will be watching this, who may be inquiring about their first properties or trying to understand the real estate market in Dubai, I'd like you to give a brief introduction into La Capitale, where you sort of started from, how you got here, and how maybe your 2024 was.
As most of the companies, we literally started from a 5 meters by 2 meters office.
Right.
It was a mom and pop show where we were trying to, 14 years back, trying to just put the puzzles and the pieces all together.
Yep.
So that we can, get a grip into the market. That was the first thing. But over now 14 years, I would say, alhamdulillah, things have been working very well.
Good.
And, things have settled down. We've become, for our own client segment, which is both the end users as well as the investors, a one-stop shop, because we provide the entire 360 services. There are very few companies in Dubai specific to real estate segment who are able to do that.
So obviously you work very closely with investors. You've been in the market for 14 years, as you mentioned. How do you think the dynamics have changed from back when you first started up in the journey for an investor to how it is now?
See, Dubai has gone through a transition. With that, most of the businesses who have succeeded has gone through this transition too. Earlier, it was a heavily dominant emotional market. Okay, we've been selling off plan since 14 years. There was a time we were not registered in Emaar. I'll be very honest with you. We used to, get associated with top 7 companies of Emaar to just sell the Emaar properties and get some, commission. But to give you a perspective, now we are one of the top producing agents of Emaar. But that just doesn't happen like this because the buyer has matured. Earlier, it was a individual who is looking to invest and your entire business is on relationship. Now, a lot of AI technologies have come in, a lot of analytical tools have come in. The buyers have matured and trying to understand if they are looking at a particular investment right now, how will it perform in the next coming 5 to 10 years. They also look at what if there's a shift in the market, how will I be able to still generate the similar or a little bit satisfactory revenue and hold my property, because real estate is buying and holding and finding the right moment to exit the market. And I've done multiple shows on this where there are different exit points of a property, especially when you buy it from I would say ground zero, which is literally concept stage, to the time a property takes almost 3 to 5 years to get matured and give you the best performing revenue out of it, whether it is adding the rental revenue, holiday home revenue, or you're just looking at a capital appreciation. So from that perspective, if you look at it now, a buyer would come down and say, hey, what if when the building gets delivered, there are almost 400 apartments, how are you going to make a difference? Because I'm going to be, literally crucified because everybody will be offering the property for sale or for rent. So we tell them, okay, that's the right time when we go into the market and we don't offer on a long term. We will do holiday home. And we have partners where we made this holiday home into such a easy cakewalk, because holiday home requires a huge investment. So we found partners who actually go down and rent their furnitures to you for a shorter amount of time so that you can achieve your objective, your financial goal, and it doesn't hit your pocket because you're not left with it. And then you, again, after the first cycle of the property is, gone by, after a year or so, when you're selling your property, you're not dealing with the long-term tenants or the notice periods and the challenges of the viewing and not offering a property on a vacant on transfer. So, such small things, or when you look at from a perspective of a buyer coming to us, and let's say he's first-time buyer and he's coming to us, he doesn't know us. We have the AI technology which helps us to gauge what actually is available in the market.
Yep.
And and that gives a confidence to a buyer, because he goes in, he checks the entire stocks digitally. And we are in digital age. Everybody needs to understand this very well. Before the buyer goes and views a property in the secondary market, he's scanning Bayut, Dubizzle, and all the likes out there, and he's making an informed decision on a price, what is being offered. If you capture the client at that time, and if you give him the edge that let me get you all the properties in your budget available, whether it's with me or with any other agent, or it's available in the market, or there's a client who is looking at not advertising the property and he's selling off market, that edge the buyer gets, he confidently moves forward. He understands the whole perspective of what could be the right bargaining chip for him and how he's going to exit in future.
That's look, you're very right when you say that. Obviously, AI is getting more involved and technology is evolving, which it does two things really. It helps the end user understand the property market. I would say they're now more educated than ever before, and also, like ourselves, we try and build tools which can also support the agents. So we have the True Estimate, which is an AI sort of focused tool, which it doesn't just take transactional data, because that transaction may have happened 2-3 months ago. It looks at a combination of the listing price, and it also looks at a combination of what the transactions are within that location, and then it gives you a sort of a more accurate price to where the market's sitting at the moment. So yeah, everyone needs to get on board with the sort of digital and AI changes which are happening, and adopt them, because if you don't, it's a very competitive market you're in, so other people will. And it's about sort of keeping up with the times, isn't it?
No doubt. Dubai is the most competitive market in the entire Middle East. It's the number one. There were stats which came out in Gulf News. I'll be very honest to you. So if you're not on top of your game, then, my friend, you've already lost the game.
Absolutely.
You have to have the AI technology. We have heavily incorporated the AI into our own system to a level that we will have AI bot, a voice bot coming up and being active probably by end of 2025.
Okay, good.
Which will be an informative system, which will not be a sales system, so that a client can ask honest questions to AI, and because AI doesn't lie, the client can actually have a lot of questions answered for them. That AI bot will be connected to the transactional data. That AI bot will be connected to the upcoming offering in the market. So the client will get a very good understanding.
What we want to try and understand are what are going to be the key drivers for growth in 2025, in your opinion?
See, 2025, the major few factors which are really going to dictate this market to grow up, one of them key factors is the population growth. That's very evident now. And that's going to continue. And it's not happening for a fluke. It's purposely happening in Middle East. It's happening in Dubai, because Dubai is providing opportunities. It's becoming the center. It's the new, I would say, the future world. And everybody is accepting that. It was a concept 1.5 years back that people were like, oh, no, Dubai is just another city. No, Dubai is not just another city. It's a mindset. And that mindset is going to actually lead I would say, most of the innovation in the coming years. Every single person wants to be in Dubai, and that is going to make a difference. That population growth is going to make a humongous difference. With that, apart from that, see, safety, convenience of business, all these are old things. Yes, it does exist. It does make a difference. Yes, it's an integral part of the growth. I wouldn't deny that. But that's 2023. And government has already achieved it. The best part of government in Dubai is, because being a small city, they move very fast. Their speed is super fast. If you look at the latest articles coming in, whether it is the family laws changing, whether whether you're looking at how the flying taxis are going to come in. Now that's 2026.
Yeah, I'm not getting on one of those, by the way.
And you will be surprised. It's US, it's London, and it's Dubai.
Yeah.
Google it. There's no fourth place on the world.
Yeah.
Don't you think that will actually bring in a mindset change that yes, Dubai is a future city? Not because people are saying, because there are things out here which are happening. The connectivity they are bringing in with Etihad Rail. Most of us don't even know that the train exists, has been operating for a year and a half.
Yeah.
They are going to move that into a passenger train. That will bring a huge connectivity throughout the Middle East. That will bring people into this place.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to come on an economical foot into Dubai to enjoy a holiday.
Yeah.
And that makes a huge difference.
It's interesting. I seen an article the other day by Mr. Alabar from Myanmar, and he stated that, and I would like to get your perspective on this, that developers really need to focus more on affordable living and affordable housing. Because of the increase in prices, would that potentially put people off from coming here to set up here? Because obviously the prices have increased quite drastically over the last few years. But how does that affect people's decision to relocate to this country?
There is affordable housing here already, and there is plenty of them. You go all the way crossing Mohammed bin Zayed Road, you will find a lot of affordable housing. That is going to increase because the city needs that.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't have all $1 million houses or $1 million best, I would say, apartments with the best views. They are required. They are here in Dubai. They bring in a lot of, I would say, ultra high net worth individuals, which is important for that segment. And that segment needs people who are actually going to work and create the cycle. For that, the entire DLRC, which is coming in, which is an entire segment of affordable housing, the entire Marjan segment is coming with the affordable housing. And the best part is, now there's a new thing which is coming in affordable houses, luxury affordable housing. Now that there's a difference. So if you go back to 2021, 2022 and see the style of facade, what I mean is outside style of the building, the structure of the building.
Yeah.
It was still with 2019, 2020 style. But coming 2021, 2022, that style has changed, that taste has changed. And that's where a little bit, I would say, luxury aspect is coming into the property, even in affordable segment.
Okay.
And that is where the main demand is going to come in, because everybody wants to live in a beautiful property.
What sort of price point would you be estimating that luxury affordable?
I can give you a live example. You must have seen recently a lot of developers have come in, small-time developers coming up with one building.
Yeah.
Okay. And they are actually selling almost, I would say, 7% higher than the normal market.
Okay.
And the buyers are accepting that. We have seen that in Furjan in affordable housing segment. We have seen that in Marjan in affordable housing segment. We have seen that all the way in JVC.
Let's talk about buyer preferences as well. Do you see them evolving? And what should sellers be aware of, obviously stepping into the market?
See, buyers have evolved a lot because they have option. They have a lot of option. Now, when a buyer goes into the market, he has an option at a fraction of, I would say, 3% of the property margin. So giving an understanding on that practical sense. So if you're looking at a, let's say around a 3-bedroom at a 5 million level, you have a 5 million level 3-bedroom, you have a 4.75 million 3-bedroom, you have a 4.5 3-bedroom, you have a 4.25, you have a 4 million, and you have all the way down to almost starting from 2.25 million. So it's a lot of variety. And then the client comes in and sees the quality. It's the quality which the buyer is accepting. And then attaching that towards the price he's paying. If he finds that quality and that style is predated, they give a little bit less. But if they see that quality and style is up to the mark of the current market or in future, they are ready to pay the top dollars. And that's where the mind shift has happened completely.
I think looking at a lot of the developments that have been released over the last few years, Dubai Harbour and stuff like that, I think one of the main questions or holds up that, and this is probably why we've seen a demand rising in older buildings, which you can refurbish with much more square footage. A lot of the buildings at the moment just seem very, very boxy and very small. And I think there's a demand to get that square footage back as well. Are there any developers sort of going back to the roots of giving, like the shoreline apartments, giving bigger square footage, opposing to trying to cram in as many units in the building as possible?
So if you look at the tier 2 developers in Dubai, they are actually delivering a better square footage in terms of the livable area.
Okay.
And that's where they're getting the edge.
Of course.
So see, the beauty about the Dubai real estate market is, if you go to the tier 1 developers, you will get everything a little bit smaller unit.
Yeah, you get,
whether it's a villa, townhouse, whether it's an apartment, doesn't matter, duplex, doesn't matter, a little bit smaller. So they make their margins there, which the buyers are accepting. When they want a little bit bigger, they go to the tier 2 developer because they know they are compromising a little bit.
Yeah.
And they don't mind because they want that space.
What strategies could sellers adopt in 2025 to be more competitive in this market?
See, you have to, for the sellers first needs to understand the buyer mindset now. The buyer is a matured buyer. The buyer is now looking at speaking to people who are very honest and transparent. There is buyer who is coming into the market, they want a deal, they want to transact, and they want a transparent deal.
Yep.
If you see 2022, there was a lot of not advertised properties getting sold, when you call it off market.
Off market, yep.
Right? Now, I've seen a shift in that. Now, a buyer comes to you and says, okay, I've seen, you've given me one property, I like it, I don't like it, do you have any other? And you say, yes. You know what they ask? Send me the link. They want a validation that there is a serious seller.
Yeah.
So in 2025, a seller is looking at selling a property. He needs to show to the buyer, I am serious in selling.
Yeah.
And that shift which I'm seeing is beautiful for the market. So I would say a seller needs to showcase to a buyer he's serious in selling.
Yeah.
Second he needs to do is, if he has, see, now you can have different type of properties. And let's talk about the end user perspective. Okay, so if you have a ready property and you are selling that, you need to give notice period to your tenant, if you do have a tenant. Because a buyer is currently coming and saying, I want to vacant on transfer, or I don't want to get into the hassle of actually going down the legal process of getting a tenant out. Though there are legal processes, but there are ifs and buts there. There are some loopholes there where people can, take advantage of. So that is another thing. Third is, if you have a property which is 10 years old or 8 years old, upgrade it. It's very important. Okay. If you don't want to invest too much of money, at least get the home automation into it. It's not expensive. Give a new look to the property. At least do a change in the color basic. Don't go with the old theme of yellows. Go with beige. Change the look. Get it to the current modern look where the properties are getting, built now, because that's what the buyer is seeing. I want a glitzy property. I'm not looking at a property which is old style. Change your style.
Kunal,
Yay.
we're playing a game now, okay? You ready?
Okay.
The game is real estate predictions, okay? Rise, fall, or stay the same. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and next year we'll catch up again and see if you were correct.
Okay, no, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay, number 1. Demand for luxury properties in Dubai will rise in 2025.
Yes, it will continue rising.
Yep.
But a certain segment of luxury properties.
Okay.
Not every luxury property.
Okay. What segment do you think?
So, in a luxury segment, the luxury starts from a 20 mil and above. Okay. Now there will be a very high demand which is going to happen in the initial luxury segment and in the top luxury segment. So not in the mid luxury segment.
Okay. Question number 2. The shift towards remote working will lead to more demand for villas in suburban areas.
Yes, 100%. It's happening. We are seeing it.
Yeah?
My wife works from home now. It's very common.
Yeah.
And I would say there's a irony out here, a sad part out here, I would say, is that, MNCs are taking advantage of it. So all the well-paid people or individuals who are working in Dubai, the MNCs are actually, tech firms especially, are making them work from home. They don't want them to come because they are more productive.
Okay.
They are producing better results.
Yeah.
So that trend, before they change, maybe later on, they want that to happen. They are giving still perks for people to work from home.
Number 3, interest rates will stay the same through
Sorry, say that again.
2025. Interest rates will stay the same. Go up, go down.
Now, this is a very tricky question. Interest rates have just come down. Now, it really depends on how the Trump government, moves forward. There is one side saying that the interest rates will go down, and there's another side saying that no, we need more employment and the liquidity needs to be a little bit less.
Yep.
Because they are trying to get liquidity from other taxation or tariff systems.
Yeah.
So they are not going to reduce the interest rate. So it's a very subjective question. It depends on how the US market or how the US plans goes by, because the dirhams is directly pegged with that. So it's something which we have to wait and watch.
Okay. Interesting. Number 4, commercial real estate demand will continue to grow in Dubai.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. The amount of opportunities which are there in Dubai, or the Dubai is providing to international businesses, international entrepreneurs, that's growing. Because of that, and I've said it as earlier, if you want a trade license, okay, and when I'm saying trade license, I'm talking about doing business. I'm not talking about solopreneurs, I'm talking about entrepreneurs. Solopreneur has a different market. Okay, they can work from home, they can work from WeWork spaces, but entrepreneurs need a system a company runs. So for that, you need a trade license. For that, you have a clear path that there's a tremendous shortage of offices in Dubai already. Offices has seen the rents going up almost, I would say, in the last 2 years, 100%. Yes, 100%. If you're a new tenant and you were renting in 2022 and you come in 2025, your rent is double. That's a reality. If you look at the price of the property has also gone double because of the shortage.
Last one, international investors will make up a larger share of buyers in 2025.
To an extent, yes, 100%. It has always been, that Dubai is accepted outside for international investors. But this will keep rising because if you see in the last 2 years, the digital initiative by the government, which one such just happened, okay, where there was a 1 million summit, okay, now these initiatives are going to increase. When a digital imprint of any city increases in the digital world, it brings in acceptance of that particular place. So the acceptance of the success and the convenience and all the perks which Dubai brings in for any international investor is only on a high rise. And when they are looking for a real opportunity to, get your money, buy an asset, get a returns, look at from a law perspective, look at from perspective of getting higher rental yield. And if you take the entire, I would say, Asian continent, Dubai surpasses in terms of returns to every city. And that is now accepted by the international investors. So you would see a lot more international investors coming in.
Good. Okay.
Pleasure.
Well, everyone, I hope you found today's episode educational, informative. I certainly did. Kunal, it's been a pleasure having you on board. For anyone who's interested in the real estate market, anyone who's looking for advice in real estate, reach out to Mr. Kunal or one of his team members at Capitale Real Estate. I'm sure they will be very, very happy to help and accommodating. Kunal, thank you very much for joining.
Thank you very much for hosting me. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate that. Great expectations from you. And we know you guys are going to deliver.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
You're listening now to the Real Estate Lab with Bayut.